Okay, here we go. All right, well, everybody, welcome back to the Freedom Mindset. As always, got my co-host, Mr. David, over here. Got my boy, Jose, on the mic today. Jose,
What's
a.k.a. Hose B, a.k.a. Jay Bonchi.
And Kilo.
Oh, and Kilo, apparently. Freedom Mindset, right? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Freedom Mindset?
Yeah.
Yes, bro, that's the name of the podcast.
Oh, I knew that. I was just kidding.
All right. Well, today, I think we're going to talk about friends and loyalty. Where do we start with this one?
I guess we need to start with friends, don't you think?
Friends.
Because then that kind of translates to the
loyalty
loyalty
yeah.
part.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Well,
Relationships, the different types of them. It's crazy. You're going to have the work one. You're going to have you can have the intimate one. Everyone says the word relationship, they immediately go to intimate. But
that's true.
I mean, we got relationships with coworkers. We got relationships with close friends. And, you can call your coworker your friend, but then you can talk about your ride or die boy. And that guy is a different kind of friend. You know what I mean?
It's like family.
Yeah.
That is true.
And
I agree.
They, one of my favorite guys of history, King Solomon, man, he said there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And that proverb, man, that was deep to me because I've actually seen that played out in life where there's actual friends that you meet that end up being closer to you than your blood brother.
And I think it's like okay to have that. You know what I'm saying? Like too many people try to focus on the blood part of it, and it's like it doesn't always have to be blood. You know what I'm saying?
No,
It's absolutely true. I mean, stepchildren.
True. Yeah. I mean, I got a stepdad. Took us in and provides for the lifestyle we wouldn't have had, opportunities we wouldn't have had. So grateful for that. So, but yeah, friends or lack of, whichever way you want to look at it.
Man, lack of, straight to the loyalty.
Hey, have I mentioned I'm the wild card of the group here?
Oh, man.
No, so I guess, I guess here in this world we live in nowadays, loyalty, respect, friendship is kind of a thing of the past, right? It's like, you try to share your ideas with your boys. You try to talk about some things. And then a few months later, you see them doing exactly what you talked about.
Yeah.
But not with you.
Yeah. I think, that goes a lot of ways. That kind of tells a lot of true colors, right? Where you kind of stand as a friend, boys, as you say, and really like just mind-blowing at some point. It's kind of one of those things that you just don't even know what to say. It's kind of like you've kind of been through a lot of things, but then to kind of see it in a bigger scale, and you're like, man, like that's how it's gonna be. You kind of lost the words.
Humanity, man, it's. I came to this place I'm real interested in how people interact with each other, right? Like it's incredible to me. Psychology, how people interact with each other, I don't agree with everything John Rockefeller did, but one of those quotes, it was one of my favorite ones, was he said, the ability to deal with people is as purchasable a commodity as tea and sugar. And he said, I'd pay more for that ability than any under the sun. And this was a guy that understood operations. He understood value in building something, building a team. But people, when we talk about friendship, you're going to let me down at some point. I'm going to let you down at some point. I'm going to let you down at some point, vice versa. If you choose to have a relationship with somebody, you're going to get let down by that person, or they're going to let you down at some point in time. And I still think there's a line there that you can come back from, and there's a line that you can't. For some people, depending on the relationship and the dynamics, but for the most part, there can be that line.
Well, I also think, too, it depends on how you handle it, too, when it's brought to your attention. You know what I'm saying? You can handle it in a few different ways. But no, you're right. I mean, there's again, we're all different people. We all think different. We take things differently. So it's like I'll just throw us out here right now. We've had some disagreements, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But I mean, here we are together still. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we worked through it because we had that relationship. I think that's a little bit stronger than family, or I meant friends. We are in the family level, I would say. So like we could work through it because we have a mutual understanding of how
we both are.
Right.
But, that kind of tells you a lot, too, because, the work, and again, kind of throwing where we're been, we've been through a lot of things together. I think our relationship or our friendship has been since I was a teenager. I've known your family since I was a teen. But really just amongst the years, we kind of learned that behavior piece, how you are, how I am, and really just how we talk, right? Or really how we can both understand each other. We've always... we've had some disagreements. We talk through it, just how you feel, how I feel. But we know what the key thing is, it's really how we handle the situation, right? Because a lot of times, in reality, people say, you know what, F you, I'm out, and really don't put that effort, right? And trying to continue that relationship and really just trying to grow from it. And really from us, just our experience, we've been, I tell you all the time, you're like my brother, right? But, just kind of going back from that, it's like we learn from each other, Sometimes I got to take a step back and be like, you know what, let me listen to what you got to say. And we just have that respect. And I think that's ultimately what it is we respect each other as individuals. And, just as much as you respect me, I respect you. And I think that's why when you talk about friendship, you talk about loyalty that's what it's about,
Yeah, and I know. I mean, I've talked to both of y'all about this. I mean, I'm not the person that can. I'm trying to respond instead of reacting now. That's always been a big problem of mine.
You're doing real good at that now.
I've been trying, man. I really have been. And
I'll give you your flowers because I again, I've known you for a long time. The different guy that I know from now, oh man, is a 180. I'll tell you that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'd be throwing down in a parking lot if you just park in my spot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but now I'm like, you know what, bro? You need it more than I do. Go ahead.
But, that tells you, again, like your growth as an individual.
But also, too, I think the critique from your friends helps you. You know what I'm saying?
It does, man.
Yeah, and I agree.
That same guy, man, my favorite one, Solomon, man, he talked about it. Managed the largest organization in human history that we know of and the most successful. And he said there's a friend that like iron sharpens iron, so a friend it helps the countenance of a friend. And that refinement process, man, that's what life is. It's that refinement of growing. And man, people think, oh, hey, look at me, I've got a house, I've got a car, I'm a grown man, I'm a grown woman, No.
Well, in society's eye nowadays, you made it, right?
Oh, yeah.
But even though you might have other things you're dealing with.
We're
yeah.
Man, that reality hit me the other day. I was just driving, and man, it just hit me like just this wave of it came over me like, holy crap. Like, dude, you're still growing. Like what is it? I'm a grown man. I got a family. I got a kid. I'm
right.
not, when are we grown up? Like, what is that?
I don't think you have a time on that. I think even when you're 90, 80, you're still learning.
Dude.
I mean, I think every generation or every year we're learning as we go, and it's really upon yourself to really kind of adapt and really kind of grow, of what's going on or your surroundings. And I think that's why it kind of goes hand in hand of who's in your circle, right? Like, if you have someone negative in your circle and is giving you some bad insight and giving you just a bad rough, that's the direction you're going to think of, right? But if you have positive people in your life and you're going to have somebody that's going to help you grow and they're growing and you're learning from your mistakes and that's what you want in your circle, in my opinion.
Man,
right?
I forgot. I was reading this deal the other day. I don't know who quoted it. I don't know what it was, but I saw it said, show me the 5 people you hang around with the most and I'll tell you who you are.
That's funny because I read that too. Yeah.
I'm just like, man, that's real though. But it's like,
so real.
I mean, but kind of like you're saying, second to what you're saying, David, it's like, you got to be able to have that mindset. I'm not done growing, so you can continue to grow in some type of way, whether it be spiritually, attitude, business, relationship, friendship, marriage. If you're a parent, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always room. And if you close-mindedly say, oh, I'm there, well, bro, you're blocking a whole bunch of knowledge. Like, you got to be open-minded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And anybody that, I mean, you look at people, and a soldier can recognize another soldier that's actually seen combat. Mm-hmm. Like, you can see it from the experiences. not to say that our life experiences are on that same level as and the intensity as
Yeah,
what those
right,
guys
right.
go through, but the parallel there is so real. It's so tangible to say, man, you know what? If you take the young guy that's just fresh getting out there, that's eager to get out in the middle of the field, you know what I mean? The older guys that have been through, multiple battles there's a different, almost like a stoic calmness.
Yeah, let's say a sense of calm. Yeah,
because they've seen it, they've experienced it, and they recognize, hey, I don't know everything. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's a root thing that they run into. But man, when you see these younger guys that are running out there, and you see the older guys, man, when you've lived a little bit, you have, and you've made those mistakes that we've all made. I mean, and look, we're all sitting here nodding our heads right now,
Yep.
But when you've felt what it feels like to have loss, when you felt what it feels like to hurt somebody that you care about, when you felt what it feels like to struggle, to hit that rock bottom, if you've ever hit it, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, and we want our kids to grow up. We, all three of us got kids.
Yeah.
We want our kids to grow up. We want these people that we're leaving this behind to, that hear this or see this, to not have to go through the things that we've gone through, to learn what we've learned. But man, how do you quantify that? Like, how do you quantify what we went through? How do we give that to our kids without them having to go through that, or share that with people that haven't experienced it?
man. I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, bro, it's like I don't wish this on anybody, but I think everybody needs to hit rock bottom in order to, discover, okay, what makes me tick. Let's grind. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, I don't wish that on my kids at all. But I don't want them to grow up in life and just be like, okay, hey, you know what? Everything is easy. I ain't got nothing to worry about. My parents got it taken care of. It's like you want them to understand that without dragging them through the trenches, But it's like, how do you do that?
And I think it's if there was a common point there for growth, I think it's resistance. And we talked a little bit about that in episode 1. But that resistance that is required for growth across. And you can see that pattern in plants, like what we talked about with the fan that blows.
Yep.
When it gets that resistance, it makes the branches bigger, the trunks bigger. When we want to exercise and have a stronger muscle set up, like that resistance, there's always that resistance. And you look at people that have experienced emotional resistance or struggle in the field of relationships or struggle in the field of work, and you look when someone's been through that fire and put that resistance in, you recognize that's a stronger person.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess kind of getting back on this. So, how do you handle, or what do you do when you have somebody you thought was in your circle do you wrong?
Man, that's the $1 million. That's $1 million question.
Do you get angry and try to fire back? Do you?
But you also, I would say no. I would say no, and the reason why I say that is because you don't want to put yourself in that level, right? I always want to say is you always got to put yourself in a good pedestal of saying how are you going to handle this situation, because that's your character, and I think that kind of shows your maturity, kind of shows of how you handle it. Because if you're going to go there and you're going to go ahead and say all these bad things, like blah blah blah, that just kind of shows like, hey, this dude is he acting like a little immature person, That is just the way I see it. It's better just to really just talk about it. I would say talk about it as a man, how you feel, handle it like that, and if they take it some wrong, then you already know it ain't work. You just need to part ways.
So you're saying do actions over words.
That's it.
No, I mean, I can respect that. I mean, it's like,
That's it.
In business, I mean, we're all in some type of business. If you walk into a company and you're trying to earn somebody's business, you don't go in badmouthing the competition because that makes you look weak.
It does.
So it's like, you got to
represent yourself
right. Yeah.
You got to represent yourself right.
And I think that, when you walk in and you realize that I've been there before is different. Younger me, how did I handle when somebody did that? I wanted to punch you in the face.
And I'm asking whose car we taking.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was, but now when you've lived And I feel like we've all lived a little bit. When you've lived now and you see a young buck doing that, do you not go, damn, I want to help this cat a little bit. Like I want to give him a shot.
But
at
what if
not
you
doing what I just what I had to go through there?
But what if he continues? Then what? I don't mean to be the negative guy here.
No,
I'm just
that's different. But like,
then you punch him in the mouth. No, too far.
You know what?
Did I skip too many steps?
I mean, I'm not trying to take this out of context.
Why can't we just talk
but,
about it?
De-escalate.
De-escalate the situation.
At that point, are they being a child? Because it says, "Spare the rod, spoil the child" in the Bible, bro.
So you're saying don't punch a child?
Yes, yeah. I'm saying that, you know what? If it's a repetitive thing, you might be doing your boy a favor if you go punch him in the face, man.
You might like it.
Yes.
So punch him on number 3.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. No, I'm not condoning physical violence. No, but really though, like for me, like,
are you though?
And I've experienced this pretty recently in multiple areas of my life.
Punching somebody in the face?
No, not that.
He does not. He does not support violence.
I do not condone assault. Take him in the boxing ring. Get him to agree to it.
But is it
first.
assault if somebody
Yes.
didn't see it?
Yes. Okay.
Too far again?
I think you put a lot of thought into that.
Good question. I don't know.
I'm the wild card of the group, guys.
But
I like to
really,
talk about things.
if you really see somebody that you almost feel sorry for them, bro. Like after a while, like me anyway. Like I look and I'm like, man, like, and don't get me wrong, I have a natural temper. You know what I mean? Like I have a natural.
Well, I'm sure unless you talk, it's like you got logic,
Boom.
you got I want to hug somebody, you got some violence.
Yes.
I think that's the great thing about it. We all have to have a combination.
But this is
of
what we're
things.
talking about, friends. We
Yeah.
got. He wants to hug everybody. You
I didn't
like
say I
want to
wanna-
talk it out.
I didn't say I want to hug
I'm over
everybody.
here punching people.
I don't say I want to hug everybody. Sometimes some people need an ass whooping, right? But I'm just saying, like, you gotta talk it out.
There comes a point when I think the correction, and the ass whooping is a form of correction. Okay, yeah. Again, not condoning assault, but yes, but sometimes somebody needs that, bro. And you know what? In your personality, where you're more comfortable going that way.
I was raised on the north
Okay.
side of Houston, by the way.
Yes, but with your personality, you know what? How you take that, like the older, more mature you,
Yeah.
as you started to develop over time, is you're not scared to go have that conversation.
No, you're right.
And you know what? It's that the word is correction. And if somebody is off course, and you see them about to hit a brick wall,
Shove their head into it.
No.
No,
Sorry, too far. Oh,
Too
sorry.
far again.
It depends on where they are, but for the most part, I know you guys, and I know you guys have kids. I know that's changed you as the same way that it's changed me.
100%.
100%.
Yep.
And when you see somebody going toward a wall, your instinct is going to kick in to say, you know what? Hey, man, you're about to hit a wall.
So I guess my question, right? Let's say this friend, right? Let's say that person that stole your ideas or whatnot. Let's say if they fell down and you were the only one there, would you reach your hand and help them out?
Well, so
Yes, you would.
Would you? Yes or no?
Well, hold on, but yes, I would. And back to your deal. So I like your logic of thinking, like we were talking about. Happiness is like your own vision of it, right? However you want to make it. So I like the way you look at it. So you could take somebody screwing you over and be like, okay, this dude needs some help. Maybe needs some guidance. Maybe he needs something, whatever. Maybe he's insecure in something. Instead of going straight to violence, maybe we try to help him and look at it different, take a different view of it.
I think there's a reward there that a lot of people miss out on, bro.
No, I mean,
If it's there.
and you're right.
The percentage of it being successful is small because if they act it out, usually you'll know a tree by its fruit. You know what I mean? If it looks rotten, smells rotten, it probably is. But on that one chance, everybody else would have passed up that opportunity. But we turn over that rock and see, hey, is there potential under this? And I have some friendships in my life today that were from that exact thing. And I'm not tooting my horn or something. I'm just saying in general, I have friendships, deep friendships, where these people showed up and showed out for me more than some people that called themselves my friends, because I took the opportunity to say, you know what, maybe there's something more here. Let me get past this shit that they just did.
So to answer your question, yes, I would, to give them the opportunity to do better next time. And then if they don't, then I punch them.
No, we don't want to condone violence.
I tried the soft way
But
first.
the question is, would you pick him up and push him back down, then pick him up again?
If he did it again, I would push him down and kick him.
Violence is necessary in some places. Okay, I don't uncondone violence because I mean, our soldiers have to be violent. Violence.
So I need
there's
to
a
go
place
join
for
the
violence.
military is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you would have been great,
Seriously, man?
You would have been
They'd
great.
be like, get your old ass up out of here.
Oh,
Your neck was hurting earlier.
Just because I smell like icy hot right now, that's besides the point. I will punch you in the face with the
other side.
Exactly.
Not the right side, the left side.
The left side would be better for him because it would hurt less.
That's true. Yeah, you got a valid.
See, bro, I'm trying to turn the rock over here. Okay, you're trying to hype me up. You're the hype man to punch somebody right now. Someone's getting punched.
Remember, I'm always your cheerleader for.
Yeah,
I got you.
just make sure you got bail money. What?
I got you.
I can go home back.
Like, how much is it? Can he stay another night? Does it reduce the cost?
Oh God.
He's been okay before.
Hey, we've been here once before. This is the second time. He said he was getting better. It's been 13 years since the last one.
Oh my God, I'm totally kidding.
No, but actually, I mean, I really do like your perspective on it. I really do. And I mean, and it kind of goes what we're talking about again. Like, I'm a God-fearing, Christian man, but I be acting crazy sometimes. Sometimes I gotta, tell God, hey, look, I need you to like come in right now and calm me down because your other son's about to get punched. So.
and
So, I mean, and this is like real conversation. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get on here and be fake. I'm going to be real. It's like I have these conversations. I'm like, God, like this dude wants to get punched today. And like, I'm trying not to, I'm like, Satan, not today. And he's like, punch him in the face. Just do it. I'm like, it'll feel so good. I know it will. To me, not to him, but... But no, I mean, all seriously though, I mean, I really do like that. I do respect you for having that view on it, and Jose for hugging everybody. It's fine. I mean, we all have our way of dealing with things,
He
bought
an
an electric car today, by the way.
I
so.
did. Honestly, I'm not. That's a different subject, man. I understand you're angry. Do you need a hug? Like,
anyway, okay,
man,
there loyalty.
okay.
Okay, loyalty. So I think again, it can be taken back to the word relationships, right? So in your life, we're gonna have relationships with people, whether we want to or not. Are they a work relationship? Is it a friend? Is it a coworker? But these relationships that we choose to allow to be part of our lives, we have a responsibility to nourish that relationship if we want it to continue to exist in our life. And each one of those relationships is a different kind of plant that requires a different kind of an environment and a different kind of nurturing. And some of them can fall into the same category. Orange trees, they thrive in a certain environment, and there's a whole nother kind of berry tree that only grows in the snow. You know what I mean? But if you try to take that same plant and put it in the same environment, you're going to kill it. And so something that kind of came across to me, is there's a common denominator between the environment that we create for the relationships that we choose to have in our lives. And loyalty is one of those threads that it can make or break a relationship in our life. Loyalty, I think, is a natural tendency a natural expectation that we have for people in our lives. And sometimes we expect more out of these different kinds of relationships in our lives than we should.
Oh, you're right. That's facts. Yeah. And kind of like we were talking about earlier, it's like we're all different people. So we all think differently. We all handle things differently. So you're absolutely right. So again, kind of like we were talking about earlier, because you and I have been friends, so I'm going to use this as an example more tonight. But like, we're two different people. So it's like I have to talk to you on a ground that you're comfortable with. You talk to me on the ground that I'm comfortable with, so we can have a conversation as adults and not, get out of hand. Like you're saying, it's like, you come at me sideways, like that's it. Like we're done. I come at you sideways, it's going to be a different deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm sure it's the same thing with you. It's like we all handle everything differently. So it's like what you're saying is all of these people relationships. I know you're using a plant as deal, but that's a good analogy to use. So it's like we can water it certain days and not have to certain days. You can change climates on it, change attitudes, you can change environments, you can change this, and it's gonna either flourish or it's gonna die. So again, I mean, I'm really feeling your direction on this tonight, and I think this is helpful. Like we're talking about, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of
it's making me think
growing.
Yeah,
because I even text you the other night I actually text both of y'all about it. And you were hitting me with a whole bunch of spiritual stuff to calm down, and you hit me on let's grind. Yeah. So it hit me on both of my levels, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm a God-fearing Christian man, but I'll be acting crazy. So it's like you're hitting me on hey, this is what we need to do. This is what we're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. You're hitting me on, well, instead of getting physical, let's maybe grind harder. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and put it out there, and let's get to work. So I feel like both of y'all help me as friends to help level me up, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying is the type of group that you have in your circle, and I think we're all very understanding of how we're making each other grow, because he might have a lot of insight, and he's making me think right now, in a lot of ways. I'm like, it's making me realize a lot of things. But it kind of goes back to just the type of people you have. And that's what we're here, right? Friends are supposed to help you grow. Friends are supposed to be there to if you get knocked down, we're here to pick you up.
Yeah, and I guess, kind of you actually called me on this deal we're talking about right now. You're like, these plants, if you will.
What kind of plants?
So,
bro, calm down. They might be good for you that season, but they're not going to be good for you the next season. So it's we're going to have to remove them from our garden, and we're going to have to plant, a new plant, or just leave it not. You know what I'm saying? It's like I told my wife, I was like, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
You're right. And the biggest revelation I had about that is no matter how we look at it, no matter what area of life we're in, we get to choose the relationships that will continue to exist in our life. If I don't like the work relationships I have, I can quit. I can leave. If my marriage isn't working out, I don't condone this, but I can leave. Yeah, I mean, you can. There are situations in your life we control and choose through the choice that we've been given, the opportunity to choose. We can control all of the relationships in our life. When I say control, I mean choose whether they are in our life or not in our life, right? You can't control the people.
Right, yeah.
But for the most part, that revelation, it just hit me, man. And I was like, whoa, that's so crazy. This works. It helped me to rethink it while I was sitting there. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, so I can't treat, I was guilty of this. I was treating people the same when they weren't meant to be treated the same. I was expecting from people the same when I shouldn't have been expecting the same. That's a different plant. That's a different kind of relationship that I'm allowing to exist in my garden. And you know what, though? If you have made the conscious decision that this relationship is going to exist, we have a responsibility in our garden to water that plant in whatever way that means, right? Your wife or your significant other, you have a responsibility to pour into that person and to water that relationship. And the outcome of that plant is on you. It's on me. Instead of just making everything everybody else's fault, it's on me.
Yeah.
Did I do everything I could when I look in the mirror to nourish that relationship in my life?
Yep.
And get the most out of it? Yes or no?
Bro,
you know?
How many times I had that conversation with you in some of your past relations, if you will. I'm like, bro, can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I gave it all? Like what you're just talking about.
And you know what, though? I can tell you right now, I'm guilty right now. And, you know, my wife would support this 100%. Dude, I have not given it my all, you know, in times in our marriage. I didn't give it my all. And do you know what I got? I reaped what I sowed.
Right.
I didn't. And we're at such a cool place right now, man. We're going through this, you know, we've had our ups, we've had our downs together. We got, you know, 3 kids together. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that you get what you put in. You're going to reap what you sowed in whatever way possible. Now, are there scenarios where there's things beyond your control? Did your spouse step out on you? Did your loved one step out on you? You know, are there things that are beyond your control? Right? Because that other person has free choice too. You know, they may not want you in their garden. And you know what? We need to, you can grieve, you can go through all that, those things and experience that. But at the end of the day, we have a choice to have somebody in our life or not, but they have a choice to have us in their life or not too. And I think that's where that friendship coincides. That's where we run into, you know, they've got sciences of compatibility. They've got, you know, personality profiles that you can do. There's people using astrology to cast charts and say, hey, you know, they're, you know, that's a whole other animal that's crazy. Some of that stuff is pretty freaking crazy. But when it's crazy how accurate it is with the actual personality assessments. But I've looked at that, you know, what's the science of compatibility even, right? Like what makes somebody attractive? What makes somebody good for you and not good for somebody else? And that exists. And these people, the psychologists have broken this down. They have it down to a science. But when you look at it, we still have the choice to have somebody in our life. We have the choice to say yes or no to somebody in our life. And there's a benefit that is tangible to friendship, which is what we were talking about today. And one of the key components of friendship is trust and loyalty.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up because I was about to say, I think some of the biggest problems marriage has is like you try to love your spouse in your love language, but it's not their love language. But I guess I could apply to friends. You know, I'm trying to communicate and talk to you through my language, but it's not necessarily your language. So I guess it can go both ways. So kind of going on second in what you're saying there. And it's like, I think we need to figure out, I'm not necessarily say go ask your friend what their love language is. I'm not saying that, but I mean, it's like, maybe try to figure out the ground, kind of we're talking about, like we figured out our mutual grounds to stand on, you know, and how we communicate to each other. And no, I mean you're absolutely right with that. And it's tough to do whenever you try to break it down that way because in your mind it doesn't make sense, but in their mind it doesn't make sense either, you know. And
because you can figure out, you know, like you said, with a spouse or with a friend, right? Any kind of relationship that we're looking at, they are a different plant than you.
Yeah.
They have different environmental needs than you, different nutrient needs than you if they're going to grow, right? And so like your values, we may have some of the same values, you know what I mean? But the stuff that you like is different than I like. The food that you like might be different than I like, you know? You may hate mustard, I may love mustard, you know? But when you're looking at that, it's your job to find out what your friend needs. If you care, the effort shows. And if you care, you're going to find it out.
No, you're right.
You're going to find it out. You're going to find out what makes your boy tick, what makes your wife tick. You know, you're going to find out what works for them, what doesn't, what they need, what they don't need. And that's the beauty of the journey of the relationship is getting to know that person.
No, I mean, that's 100% facts. And again, I don't mean to keep bringing this up, but like you and I, bro, it's like, again, we've been friends for a very long time. We've had some ups and downs, but yet we still sitting here cutting up. You know
what I'm saying?
Like
nothing happened.
I mean, I don't have any extra chairs in here. You know what I'm saying? It's just us.
But again, that kind of shows, though, that kind of goes back to like where we stand, that respect, that, you know, that effort. You know, we put effort. You know, we talk every day for the most part. You know,
and we almost call each other at the same time.
Like I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You know, oh
Finish
shit,
each
I was about to text
sentences.
you. Yeah, no, and that's facts. You know,
we share sandwiches together, drink out of the same cup together. No, I'm just kidding.
Long walks on the beach.
Exactly, in his electric car.
in my electric car.
And the good thing is, if it runs out of gas, we have electricity
We have
to run. So we could go
exactly.
even longer. You know what, bro? I see what you did. I see what you did.
Just
there.
make sure we have more time.
We're not doing that.
No, I was just kidding. You know,
Ever.
I was never thinking that.
But
man.
I think it really is important if we were going to pass on a nugget. If we were going to, that's what this is. We're passing on something
Leaving legacies
to people to not have to go through what we went through to get what we got, right? And I think that's the summary of it. And friendship is more valuable than any amount of money.
Facts.
It's more valuable than almost. There's a lot. It's one of the most valuable things on earth in this life that you can have. And don't ever let money come between your friendship. Don't ever let your pride come before your friendship.
Okay.
It can happen. It can happen. We've all been there. It happens. But I'm saying in general, you're both sitting here.
Hey, whenever you edit this, why don't you just put like the red sign?
Yes. Yeah. But at the end of the day,
capital letters.
At the end of the day, to get a little serious about it. But if one of you was having to stand over the other's casket right now,
man, why you gotta go there?
I had to go. No, because this is the real. This is it. This is how you open your mind up to this stuff, guys. But like, I'm serious. You know what though? If one of you had to stand over the other's casket right now, like for real, no, I'm taking it there. Guess what?
I would slap the shit out of him.
Yes,
Be like, wake up, fool.
Yeah.
You're like, come on, man, what are you doing? Stop playing.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Get all Pentecostal on them.
Be like, bruh.
But why you faking? You got all these people out here. Get your ass up right now.
I'm gonna punch you.
This is not happening
Hey,
right now.
what shoes you wearing today? Can I go ahead and get those?
You would.
Yeah.
Size, really, fool?
We're wearing the same size, bro. I can't let you go on the ground with a pair of 11s. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel you.
You would do the same thing to me?
I'll make sure you got the best shoes in the game, fool.
You'd be like, man, put some freaking loafers on this man. Take them 11s off.
He'd have the best shoes in the game for the funeral, but
Yeah.
before he goes in the
I
ground,
bet you put on like
the shoes
make
are
sure
coming
you
off.
Take the J's off.
yeah,
I'm going to leave you notice how I'm going to haunt your ass. You put these shoes on.
yeah.
But man, you went there, fool. I honestly,
No.
I mean, I can't.
I'm sorry.
I can't put myself in that scenario, right? Because I think to me,
You're going to start crying.
no, in reality, I mean,
No,
that's
dude.
true. My eyes were like,
absolutely.
I feel like my heart just sank because I couldn't be, and I'd be like, come on, fool, like we're playing, just like we're playing right now, right? But I feel like that would be real life.
How short are we here, man?
Like
We don't know.
It's a short. No, even if you make it to 80, 100 years, that's a short. We're gonna blink and it's how old are we now? And look, blink. Do you remember being 13? Do you remember being 18?
Bro.
Do you remember being 20?
Gray hairs. I mean, like, what is this?
But
but the value system of friendship that we want to pass on to these guys, right? The value of understanding you don't screw your friends over, and if you do, go fix it quick.
But I think
If you do in a way that's managed, that's repairable, go fix it.
But I think we kind of have a really good example for our kids, and I'll say that on my own because I can't speak for Steve, but our kids, right? My son calls him Uncle Steve, like really, and he's like, oh, we're going to Uncle Steve. We're going. Oh, where's Uncle Steve's truck? He talks so highly of him, right? He looks up to him. But like, and I think with us, like just our bond and just like family and just, with everything is like, we're, kind of showcasing our kids. Like, this is what family is. This is what friends are. It doesn't matter, my color, my skin, or it doesn't matter of what I am, it's like, this is what defines a good friendship. This is what defines, I guarantee you. And that, if Steven calls me in the middle of the night, he knows I'll be like, where are we going? Whose car are we taking? I got you. And I can do the same for him. I guarantee you if I call him at 12 o'clock at night, I guarantee you he'll answer. He'll be like, what happened? What's going on? He's done that to me in the past. But
I mean, and the same thing for you. I mean, you done it for me.
Yeah, so I think, we're in the right path of how we handle situations, and our kids kind of showing or seeing, just how we are. Maya, she'll lay down on me, or she'll
every time we go out to eat, is Jose coming with us?
Yeah, so that kind of shows you, just our relationship, and then just that friendship and that bond. And again, we haven't, luckily we've had our ups and downs,
but what relationship doesn't?
But again, yeah, exactly. What friendship relationship hasn't had their ups and downs? But I think the way we handle our situations, we know how to water our flowers and know to, and talk and really just understand. And
people that learn how to do that, how to swallow the pride, how to apologize when they're wrong, how to get up real as quick as you freaking can. No, really, but the value.
That is true.
That's how you have a lasting relationship of any kind.
Yeah.
And you have to. You got to look past people's failures because humans are going to let you down at some point in time.
Yeah.
You got to be able to get over it. You got to get up quick. One of my favorite quotes, it says, be quick to repent, right? And one of the things is that's quick to change your mind, quick to learn, quick to adjust your mind, to stand up, to get up. And if you just stay down when you mess up, dude, you're missing out.
Yeah. But you also have to have friends that are going to be real with you.
Dude, yeah.
Because, I'll tell you this, and again, this kind of go back to, our friendship here. It's like every time that I ask for Steve, be like my situation, he probably knows a lot of things in my life that anybody else knows. And he's always been real to me about it. He's, whether relationships with anything that comes my way, I always call him and he always answers and he always is real. And, and sometimes I'm doubting myself or I'm doubting his ability, saying, Jose, like, you don't deserve that. And I'm telling myself, I do. Why are you still there? But, continue to, still be there and supportive and continue to be like, you know what? I understand you're still making the same mistake. I'm still here to, to pick you up, but I'm going to continue to be real and honest with you. And I'm not going to give up until you listen to me. That is what you call a real friend.
You're right.
And again, opinions, right? Just like Steven has his opinion, I have my opinion, but it's like, do you value their opinion?
And, one of my mentors growing up, life-changing statement he made to me. It was pretty quick. He said, in order to accept someone's opinion, you have to accept where they are in life.
Yeah.
And
that's deep.
Man, it's crazy. Somebody, if they've been divorced 10 times, they come tell you about being divorced, try to give you marriage advice. It's really hard for me to take your marriage advice. You've been divorced 10 times.
Facts.
I'm so sorry. But you know what? In order to accept your opinion, are you in this area that you're giving me advice? Do you have results that I want?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, I'm going to let it roll off my back.
Right.
Yeah,
and you know what? But that, like you said, man, with that, like, the opinion, I value your opinion.
Yeah.
I know you. I know your strengths. I know your weaknesses.
Yep.
I value your opinion when you give me some insight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's we sharpen each other, man. Like iron sharpening iron.
Correct.
And I bet you I can ask people this question, and I know you'll get it right. I bet you I can ask somebody, people I've known for years, what is my number one thing for friendship for me? What is it?
Don't lie to me.
That's it. That's right there, bro. It goes back to the loyalty thing and the trust.
Loyalty.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if I can't trust you to be real with me, then if I can't give you the key to my house where my family lives and say, hey, bro, I need you to go home. I can't make it home tonight. Can you go look out? If I can't trust you with that, we don't need to be friends. You know what I'm saying? But if I can't trust you with a small thing of just telling me the truth, I can't trust you with that. Like, I'll give his full the keys to my house, my cars, everything I own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not think twice about it.
Yep.
But that's like one person I would do that with.
Yeah.
And there's people that I've known probably longer than you that couldn't even answer that question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that is my number one thing, bro. Do not lie to me. Because it's like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like you just said, you call me for advice. I'm going to tell you, you might not want to hear the advice. I'm going to like, bro, hey, you call and asking me for it. So here it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's like, if I can't give you the keys to my house, then I don't need you in my life.
Yeah. That is true.
And kind of like you and I talked about, bro. I mean, with the stuff going on in this world right now, man, it's like, I mean, there ain't nobody coming to save you. Ain't nobody coming to save you. So it's like, you got to have real people in your life that you can, like, just do community with to try to figure these things out, because ain't nobody coming to save you.
And it's hard nowadays to find good friends. You know, it's like, you know, I I was actually thinking about it a couple of nights ago, and I was like, man, like, how many friends do I have?
Mine are sitting in this room.
I'm like,
it's really crazy, man.
I'm like,
And we have acquaintances, we have
We do.
networks,
We
we
do.
have professional relationships.
exactly.
We have, you know, hey man, great to see you, you know, but that's not the same thing.
It's not.
It's not the same thing.
It's not.
And you know, like, you know, there's almost like circles of that, right? You got that inner circle,
Yeah.
and you got people that are kind of in the next ring, and then in the next ring, you know, and like you're a little more distant. We're close. I kind of know you a little bit,
Just a little
but
hand reach.
it's not.
hands
I'm
reach.
not calling you to bury a body. Not that we're burying any bodies, but you know, yeah.
See, I won't go that far.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
punch somebody,
yeah,
but I ain't burying,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yes.
Unless one of y'all call me.
It was
Just kidding.
it was it was metaphorical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But there really is like there's a different, like, there's certain things that I can talk to my coworkers about, and then there's certain things that I can't talk to them about.
Right.
That I'm not going to trust them with.
Right,
and I
right,
think
right,
it comes
right.
back to your trust.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't trust that person with this information.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
I trust you.
Right.
You know, and so like I think ultimately, maybe what defines closeness, and you know, is trust. That might be the foundation of it.
Well, I was saying, you know, y'all two sitting in this room right now, y'all could call me up any time of night, and my door's open. Like, you got a problem with your wife, you got a problem with your girlfriend, whatever. Y'all, hey, bro, I got in a fight, I need somewhere to play. You know, no problem, come on over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got your back. Let's talk about it. Say we can figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna go punch your wife in the face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
so I'll pull you. We'll talk about it. De-escalate the situation.
escalate the situation.
Maybe in
Yeah.
the morning when you calm down,
There
and
you
then
go.
we'll go punch her. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding.
You know what I'm gonna get you for Christmas, man?
A punching bag.
A punching bag. Instead of shoes, I'm getting you a punching bag.
Can the punching?
He doesn't need any shoes.
He doesn't.
Can you get the
you know,
mannequin that has shoes so I can get both?
The what?
Oh,
Can you get like a mannequin that has shoes so I can get both?
I like
Hey,
that. I like
I
that.
like your style.
I like
You
that.
liked it?
You just look.
Best of both worlds.
I might give you a budget.
Yeah.
Is it a budget for the mannequin or the shoes?
I feel like we keep going up and up and
Well, you know,
yeah.
inflation's up.
Inflation. That's where I was trying to go at.
Yeah.
I was trying to.
Yes. It's
Speaking of loyalty,
there's a shortage.
talking about the guy leading our country, no loyalty there. Anyway, what?
The corruption runs deep, man.
That is,
throughout
man.
humanity.
I mean,
You
he's
know-
got loyalty to Ukraine, his own pockets. What?
We're back to the Wild West. I think we're back to the Wild West.
Brings
You
me
know,
back to the
it's-
people you can
it's-
trust.
yes.
Now,
you know,
let's
and
de-escalate the situation
don't
because you're gonna get mad. Let's
trust.
not talk about it.
Not talk about.
Let's not talk
stuttering
about
Joe,
yes, because I understand how you
puppet
get.
master Obama.
You see, now
No.
you're starting.
Okay, Loyalty.
there we let's
Our
bring
president has none.
Yeah. So
electric cars.
We're gonna be on Twitter, by the way, because they don't ban any of this.
they definitely don't. But
Oh man,
If I haven't said, I'm the crazy one.
the wild card
You could have the red arrow over me the whole time.
the whole time.
the
Warning.
Explicit.
I'm
content.
sorry, guys. Please excuse.
Oh my god.
Please excuse me.
the important thing here is that we recognize that loyalty goes beyond anything. It'll make or break any relationship. If a
Yep.
spouse steps out on another spouse, that can be the death of it for life. Like, when loyalty is violated, I question whether or not I think it's very rare, the survival rate of a loyalty violation.
No, that's facts, though, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I think that the death toll on that's going to be real high on friendships and relationships.
That's what I'm saying. It's just so. Actually, I was trying to give a life lesson to my daughter the other day. She's young. She thinks she can outsmart us. I'm like, I have lived this life plus a lot more.
She's your twin.
No, she's my wife's twin. And like the other day, I caught her in a lie, and I'm like, look, I know you're lying. You know you're lying. Let's just stop the lying. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to give you an out. I'm going to give you an exit.
It's like, I promise you right now, you are now in more trouble for lying than what you did originally. I said, and I told her this, I said, lying to anybody in any stage of your life, whether any type of relationship, parents, friends, relationship, whatever it is, it's not good. And one lie turns into another, and then the next thing you're snowballing down, and you forgot what the original lie was. So, and you're going to get caught. It is going to happen 100%. You can get away with 3 years, 5 years, 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. You are going to get caught. So just tell the truth, take your licks, and just move on. I promise you, it's a lot easier that way. So it's funny we're talking about this. I literally just had this conversation with her the other day because I'm like, the same thing with her. I'm like, do not lie to me. Like, I take that so to heart, because like the only thing you have free to give away is your word. You know what I'm saying? And that's with anybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you can't give away your word as an honest word, bro, like just there's a door. Don't even ring the doorbell again. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm trying to respond, not react, but it's like, bro, like when you start lying to me like that against my kid. I mean, I'm not gonna get my kid out the house yet, but I'm just kidding. But no, seriously though, it's like, I mean, I feel like you're saying, like leaving this nugget for our kids or for younger generation out there that might be struggling with the friendship right now, and it's like, you lied about it, so just go tell them, hey, bro, you know what? I lied. My bad. Please forgive me. How can we get past this? You know what I'm saying? Put the pride away.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead and point to me again. I got it.
No. I mean, I think you've done a really good job these past couple of years. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we want you to take away, like, from our experience, that sometimes it's okay to take your pride, and like just put it on the ground. Go talk to your friend. Go talk to whoever you have problems with, and really just hash it out. I think at the day it's going to show your true colors as a person, as a human being. It's gonna show a lot more character from you. And, what can they do? Walk away? Maybe you didn't need that person in your life. Maybe it's time for you to grow as a person. Maybe you have somebody else waiting for you that's going to help you
in the next season
of growing. So as long as you have peace, and as long as you can move forward and say, you know what, at least I made an effort, because that's really what it is, making an effort, that you tried and you hashed it out, talked about it, then you can move forward and find your new journey, your next quest in life.
That's good.
And friendship.
And, like I think a real big point of what you said there, man, was that I agree with is, if you look yourself in the mirror regarding that relationship, whoever it's with, can you look yourself in the mirror and say, I did everything I could?
Effort. Did I make enough effort?
Did I make enough effort?
Yeah.
Did I openly and honestly communicate with that human being how I feel, how they feel, and not to sound oh, we all need to talk about our feelings, but if you don't clearly communicate with somebody that matters to you, they're not going to know how you feel. But David, and then you're going to lose them.
But that's the problem, though. Nobody wants to talk about feelings. And it's important.
Especially with grown-ass men.
No, and it's important. It doesn't matter what age you're in. And I'm speaking in general. Like, it doesn't matter about, how you feel. You have to express how you feel. Because it's a chance that if you didn't talk about it, then guess what? You're going to live with that for the rest of your life.
What I also say is, too, whenever the person comes to you, be open-minded.
Be open-minded
to what they're saying.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Just listen.
Right, exactly.
Sometimes all you got to do is listen and understand where they're... Because then we talked about different, environments, different ways of thinking. So you do have to, again, understand, put your pride away, be open-minded. It goes a long way, too.
And don't be violent.
Don't be punching anybody in the face yet.
That's on step 3.
That's on different steps, which Stevens is the first one.
And that's we're gonna have an intervention.
I mean,
I'm gonna sit down for a podcast and be like, but you know where the reason why we're here? No, we're having a podcast. No, it's an intervention. Stop punching people.
Yeah, right? Man.
It's been 6 months since my last punch.
But for real though, I mean, sometimes you're having with. But I mean, sometimes
my name's Steven. Hi, Steven. I've never been to AA. I have, but I was not. It was not for me. I was supporting somebody.
That's good.
Huh.
Oh man. Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents, man.
No,
that's good. I like it.
I do too. I think it's important, man. I think it's important. All these things that we're leaving here, it's experience. We're having a good time. Right now, I think we're having a great time.
This is all it's about, man. Just hanging out with friends, talking life, trying to educate and help some people, maybe. And again, if y'all got some comments, you got some different opinions on the situation, send them in. You know, let's
definitely.
I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Dan for hooking us up with some margaritas.
You're non-alcoholic.
They're not alcoholic.
His name's Jose. It's
Really,
been
man?
it's been 3 hours since his last drink.
Shout out to your wife.
Yes.
Thank you, Dan.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Yep. Made all this possible.
Bro, the wives, my God, that could be a whole.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Well, I don't have
literally just told my brother today. I was like, man, my wife has been like to put up with me, bro. Don't say anything. I see it in your eyes, bro. You were pointing so many fingers at me tonight. I'm gonna give you the foam finger shoes. All you guys is just,
I actually tried them on.
you put your foot in my shoe, bro.
Don't act like we don't share. Okay. I'm sorry.
Look at Dave. These are like you two over here. We need a podcaster for y'all romance.
I really like that green one though.
That's what I was talking about. It has the foam fingers on because he's been pointing fingers at me all freaking night long.
They're actually very comfortable, man.
That's
You might have them missing for
cool.
tonight.
But no, like seriously though, like we need to get on with the whole talk about our wife, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean I know
The sacrifice of people,
different topic.
the sacrifice of the significant other for those that are on the front lines of entrepreneurship, on the front lines. Not even comparing it to the guys. I mean, military wives, even. You know what I mean? But the spouse of somebody that has to go out and work, that has to go put themselves in harm's way, that has to be away, the sacrifices that spouses make, that the stay-at-home spouses make.
So are we going on to this topic
Yes,
now?
I mean, in general, I think that's a good one for sure in the future.
Bro, and it's
Yes,
like
I think that's a whole nother animal, and maybe you know what? I bet we could even get like a military wife or something in here for an interview.
man, it's like behind every successful man, I'm gonna say there's a badass woman.
Oh, absolutely,
I agree.
guys. I
agree.
I would not even be standing
Oh, facts.
at all.
I'll probably be in jail for punching somebody.
I would be in jail. Yep. So much reason, man. So much reason. When God took that rib.
Man.
When God took that rib, man, and he said, you know what? It wasn't good for you to be alone.
Yeah.
You know, we are not made to live alone. For those people that are out there that have done it, it can work. I understand it can work, but human beings are, any psychologist or psychiatrist are going to tell you human beings are not made to be alone.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
agree.
why everybody thrives to be a part of something, whether it be a gang, relationship, whatever it is. Everybody thrives to be a part of something.
Absolutely. Teams.
Right.
All of it.
Right.
We are a cultural species. We are not made to live alone.
You see, I'm not married.
But what did I tell you when you met this chick?
But I do have a really good woman next to me now.
Are we going into this right now?
Like,
Should we
she
do
is-
this right now?
Yeah, I mean,
what time?
you know what, man? I'm gonna let you have that one for tonight.
All right. Well, so you just close it now.
You just go ahead and close it, man.
Okay. Well, this is the Freedom Mindset Podcast, as we announced this at the beginning of the show. As always, subscribe, like, comment. If you got topics you want to talk about, send them in. Well, maybe you can hear it on the show here.
Awesome.
Appreciate my co-host David, my boy Jose. I'm sure you'll start seeing him a lot more on here.
Hey.
So be looking forward for more content.
Awesome.
Freedom Mindset, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Freedom Mindset?
Yeah.
Yes, bro. That's the name of the podcast.
Oh, I knew that. I was just kidding.